This is George. Welcome to week one. We're going to walk through the first assignment that we have due coming Monday, and that's the developmental observation part one, the originality check. So what we're going to do is we simply click that link, and that will bring us right here. These overviews are an excellent place to start, so just click that. And that gives you the overview of everything here. And it asks you first to review the developmental observation instructions. I already have those here, but we'll just open them again so you can see how they open. And then it gives us the instructions that we have to do for part one, and it walks us through it. And that's what we want to pay particular attention to, because you're going to prepare for your observation. So you're going to print, review, and the developmental observation questions. Those are this link right here. And these are your observation questions. So if you chose a child from birth to 12, you would look there. And if you just underneath that, that is adolescence. Here we go. So this is what we're going to look at here if you're in adolescence. So that's what they're talking about when they say download the developmental observation questions. Then you're going to observe and interact with either a child from birth to 12, an adolescent between 13 and 17, or an adult 18 years plus. You pick the age group. It has to be different than the person that you're going to choose for the advancing development paper. So if you choose adolescent for your adolescent development paper, you're not going to choose adolescent for this particular one here. So just make sure they're separate so we get a wider breadth of what we're looking at. And then you're going to write just a bullet point outline that reports the individual's physical, cognitive, social, emotional, and spiritual development. It tells you here 3 to 5 bullet points, include at least one key term of the theory. Where do all those key terms come from? You can go right down here, and it gives you fantastic resources to get all those key terms from. So that is where then submit your observation guide, development observation questions. Where did that come from? Right here. So everything is set up so you just take from all the materials that are in place, and you just observe according to that, and then just write it down what you observe. Bullet points, doesn't have to be anything in fantastic APA 400 words or anything like that, just bullet points with specific behaviors that are answering these specific questions. And then include at least 2 credible sources. Where do those credible sources come from? Well, what's wrong with right here? If you can find other sources as well, just make sure they're credible. What means credible? Well, if they come from the library, even Google Scholar, they're going to be credible. So Wikipedia, things like that are still not considered credible, so we don't want to use those, but these are credible. So part one is simply our analysis, and it is the bullet point. So let's go back to our instructions right here for part one. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, but this is the entire part one right here that's due on Monday. So remember that it's not a huge paper, it's your observation. You're making bullet points, and make sure that you're using keywords and things like that from the resources that you have looked up, because that is very important. If you have any questions about the assignment, please feel free to contact me. This is where you're going to submit it right here. And I had this opened up. Oh, we already looked at this here. So that is the assignment that's due Monday. So just a quick overview of exactly how you're going to do that. Click on, let's start from the beginning, if I may. Moving a little bit slow, that's okay. We're just going to click week one, and we'll start from here. So when you go to week one, this is just a quick overview of what we talked about. So we're at week one. You notice, so these overviews are fantastic. Take a look at both of those first, and then jump in and click here where it's due. developmental observation, just part 1. Part 2 is not due yet. And then take a look at the observation overview, because that is always an important thing to take a look at first. And it's going to give you a little information here that's going to tell you to download the observation instructions. So you just click that there. They will come up here. If you're not familiar with downloading the PDF, the way that it comes up, you should have a little down arrow right there. So you just click that, and it will download the instructions for you, so you don't have to maintain them in your browser. Whatever you like to do, that's your preference. Then just read through these directions and make sure that you choose one of the age groups. So birth to 12, 13 to 17, 18 plus. Make sure it's not the same as your original or as your other paper that we're going to be doing as well. And that calls it out right in the direction, so you won't be forgetting that. And look at your resources. The best thing to do when you're doing an observation is preparation, preparation, preparation. So look at your questions, be ready to answer those. So let's say adolescent, just since we're here, physical puberty, has participant reached puberty, yes or no? Female talks about the first period, athletic, do they participate in sports, body weight. Now, body weight and obesity is becoming a bigger and bigger deal. And why is that becoming a bigger and bigger deal? Well, I guess why is the magic question, but the whole body positivity, there we go, now I can say it, movement is kind of important, because we have a large population of children that are obese, and we have a population that looks at their bodies and they don't like it. They're either thinking they're too skinny, too fat, too this, too that, and it's really taking a toll on the adolescent, because that's right when their eating disorders, things like that can come in. And especially in sports, it's very important to keep an eye out for that, because that will hamper their ability to grow. It hampers their cognitive ability. There's a lot of things where that comes into play. So eating disorders and the way they see themselves, the body image is huge. Can't say that enough. And it especially ties in to your athletic adolescence. That is a big deal. So I hope this has helped kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be doing this first assignment. So just part 1. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.